Good. Okay. All right, welcome everyone. So glad that you're here. Intro night to NLP. A lot of people ask me, what is NLP? And I think everyone that sits around here knows what NLP is. Andre, do you know what it stands for?
I know briefly of it.
Okay, so I'm not going to bore you with information for the ones that do know what NLP is. But it's about success patterns. It's about, I have actually a really nice visual that I want to share with you. And I don't know if you can see it on here, but it's an alligator where when you're in the Everglades or, in Florida, and you see like a tire swimming in the water, it could very well be an alligator and you see only the eyes. And that's something that's very visible to us. So what we do on a daily basis could be visible, but why are we doing it is actually what's underneath the surface. And that is the part of the alligator that can be very harmful. It's not just the teeth that are under the surface, but it's actually the big tail of an alligator that can really hit you and knock you out. And I think that's often how it is in life for us, that something hits us and knocks us out, and we don't even know what happened or why it happened. And then how do we respond to it, right? So we go through all sorts of things in life. Some things work really, really well, like in business, everything goes just smooth. And then we come to a point, maybe in relationships, maybe in business, maybe anywhere else, maybe in fitness, you just kind of hit a plateau, or it starts kind of crumbling, or it just goes downward. But you don't know, where do I even begin? And that's really where NLP comes in. And as an educator myself, I'm very driven to put this into schools, and that's why we have an institute here in Atlanta, because I think this is something that we really need in our schools, in high schools. Like I work with the new school. It's actually called the New School on Memorial here in Atlanta, and it is an entrepreneurial high school, and implementing it with their students is going to set them up for success, right? The younger we are and the more tools we have, the more we're going to be set up for success in anything that we do. David asked me earlier, I don't know if you can see this, asked me earlier what this is. It's called a cryptic, and it's from the Da Vinci Code. And what the cryptic is, it's basically like our lives and how we build relationships. If we know the code, we can open the cryptex, and inside is like the Holy Grail. However, the Holy Grail is written on a piece of papyrus, and if we don't know the right code, the veil is broken, and it's inside, there's a vinegar inside, and it will completely destroy the papyrus roll where the Holy Grail is on. And that's how it is with our patterns, with our life. If we don't know what the code is, if we don't know the strategies, if we don't know the patterns that are supporting us, we're going to continuously try to, kind of refumble and do it again, but we only have one chance, maybe two, to build relationships, to do it, make it right with someone, to close a deal in business, to create strategies that really support us. It's doing it over and over again is where we feel like we're hitting our head against the wall. So allow me to give you the code to your life with NLP's tools, and that's why I made this very visual, because a lot of people are very visual thinkers and learners. So NLP, I have another beautiful visual. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if you guys can see it. It is not just the emotional intelligence, and it is not just the IQ. It is really, what is your environment and your action? Your thoughts lead to your feelings lead to your actions, and your actions lead to your results. Your positive thoughts lead to your positive feelings, lead to your positive actions, lead to your positive results. And on the other hand, your negative thoughts lead to your negative feelings, lead to your negative actions, lead to your negative results, right? So it goes both ways. And it's a holistic approach, and really understanding and bringing in awareness, where is your mindset and how can you make your mindset stronger or more versatile or more flexible, right? There's that flexibility. One law within NLP is the law of requisite variety, thank you. And that is, the person with the most flexibility controls the system, or the person with the most flexibility in communication controls the conversation. So bringing you more flexibility in what you're thinking, bringing you more flexibility in what you're saying, is going to bring you more flexibility in the opportunities that you have. Sounds simple. Sounds awfully simple, doesn't it? No, it's not.
Easier said than done.
It's easier said than done, and I'm glad that you say that, because it's continuous work, and we got to know what do we want, what are we striving for, what are we aiming for, and then how are you going to get there? You know, setting goals and visualizing it, that's all fine and dandy, but really creating patterns, creating strategies, knowing what your well-formed outcome is, your desired outcome, and then creating very clear, here's the word clear strategies of moving towards that goal is really going to get you where you want to be, right? So there are 4 pillars within NLP, and one is the rapport building. So again, you know, if you don't want to kind of mess it up, you better know what the person is like, or are you able to listen on a deeper level to that person so you can speak back to that person and it actually lands with them. How often do you guys feel you're communicating here and she's communicating here and you're not finding common ground, right? So there's the emotional aspect to that. There is the logic versus the nurturing aspect, right? If we go with the 4 temperaments or the 4 personality types, there's the action personality type, there's the blueprint personality type, there's the knowledge personality type, and there's the nurturing personality type. And if they cannot communicate or find a way to communicate where they can both understand, they'll never communicate where they can understand each other, right?
More frustration.
More frustration. Yeah, and then that more frustration kind of goes into a downward cycle and it all falls apart. Or you learn how to communicate with the other and you start seeing it go up. And that takes practice. But before the practice, it actually takes awareness. You got to be aware, where is the other coming from? There are 200 million bits of information flying at us every second, and we got to figure out what are we keeping and what are we ditching, right? We all delete, distort, and generalize information just to kind of compartments, if we will. And the more awareness we have and the more we know of how do we recover from some of these deletions, distortions, and generalizations, we can have a better life, we can have more flexibility, and we can actually have more fun in anything that we do, in business, in relationships, in fitness. So going back to the 4 pillars, building rapport is a big part. Having your outcome orientation, knowing what your well-formed outcome is, and you know, if you work with me, I always ask you, so what is it that you desire? What is it that you want at the other end? What are you aiming for? That you can actually drive towards that. Often I use the analogy of, you know, if I would get on I-75 here on the interstate, and I would want to go to, say, Miami, but I would go on I-75 north. Well, eventually I'll end up in Tennessee and go, hey, wait a minute, where's Miami, right? So I lost money through gas, I lost time. I'm probably pretty frustrated at that point. I can still turn around and, you know, drive south and then eventually end up in Miami. but I could have done it a lot quicker if I were clear on where I'm going, and then actually have someone or have a tool that will guide me to where I'm going. The sensory acuity is the third pillar, and that is knowing and making distinguish where is a person coming from. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, auditory, digital. How are they processing information? But then also, are they a knowledge person? Are they a blueprint person? Are they a nurture person? Are they an action person? And then speaking on their level back. And then there's the behavioral flexibility, which is actually the result and the solution to it all, that you are gaining the behavioral flexibility, that you understand the other's point of view. And here's the kicker, here's the secret. Everyone lean in. Let's say, Brigitta, what's the secret?
What's the secret?
What's the secret? It's not about you. Who is it about?
The other person.
The other person. If I can just teach that to all of my clients, and I do teach that, and they get it, we've already done, you already got your money worth, and we've already done everything that we need to do, but then I stack all sorts of other things on top of that. But it's not about you. When I talk to CEOs, or when I talk to lovers, someone that is frustrated and they're taking things personal, whatever it may be, it's not about you. Make it about them and see it just magically starting to shift. When you can do that, and you do that not just saying it, but then not taking action on it, but actually owning that. Yes, it is about David. It is about Joshua. It's not about me. And really living by the 4 agreements, that's huge. For everyone that's watching, it's a book, The 4 Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. Incredible small book. I think Joshua can sing a song about it.
Brigitta recommended it to me, I guess it's been a month ago.
Yeah.
And I've already given it away 3 times. It's definitely a life-altering book, so I definitely recommend you read it.
Yeah.
Really, really powerful. Very simple, but extremely powerful.
I agree with you. It's very simplistic, and actually I shared it with my personal trainer the other day, because he's so full of action and nurturing that he wants to please everyone, and he cares so much about his clients that he really takes it personal. And I said, read this. And he said to me the other day, man, that whole don't take anything personally, that has just completely shifted his entire mindset.
It's a life-altering thought concept. Mm-hmm. It seriously is.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the more of a nurturing person you are, the more you care about people, the harder it is for you to really take that concept and implement it in your life, because you care so much. But it's not about you, right? Anything that someone says is a mere reflection of whom? That person. And if you can leave it with them and take it with, that grain of salt, then you're going to be a lot happier, and you're going to be able to cope with situations a lot easier. And of course, adapting your communication to them. Okay.
We have to leave this moment. This is delightful material.
Yes.
Great stuff. I'll be in touch with you.
Yes, Davey. We'll get together. We'll get some coffee.
Good to see you all.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go into well-formed outcomes. There are 14 laws of NLP, and I'd be more than happy to share it with you. I'm not going to read them down. We are going to go in depth in the 14 laws of NLP in our NLP practitioner course, which is June 12th through the 16th. And then we have another one on the calendar for September, I don't have the exact dates. I want to say September 11th through the 15th, something like that, mid-September. We're going to go deeper into the laws of NLP and go through the representational system, go through well-formed outcomes, rapport building. We're going to go through deeper into the BANK, the blueprint, the action, nurturing, and knowledge. going to go deeper into meta models and how we recover from meta models, and we're going to go into Milton models, which is very vague communication, where meta models is very specific communication. Like Joshua, who's in sales, very specific communication is key for you to recover from someone that is trying to be vague and might not want to close the deal at that point. The more specific and the more flexibility you can have in your communication, the more deals you're going to close, and just in business, right? So we're going to go Milton meta model. We're going to go into strategies and see what strategies are made of, and we're going to do a lot of hand-on exercises. Oh gosh, there's so much that I want to share with you, but I don't want to take everything away either. At the end, let me just tell you, at the end we're going to have a big celebration, and it'll be at our house for about an hour, and you're going to walk away after that week being in the room with these 12 incredible people, and you formed a tribe, and you're going to go, oh my God, I'm so glad I came. I'm so thrilled that I've done it, and all of the feedback that we've gotten is just absolutely incredible. I'll share one feedback with you. Phoenix Soul, she's an incredible recording artist. She took our practitioner course, I want to say beginning of 2017, or what was last year, 2018. She says there's so many great tools I learned to use, which are transforming and how I communicate and interact. I highly recommend the practitioner course. You'll learn a lot about yourself and you'll grow tremendously. She's actually adapted a lot of those communication skills in her songwriting, which is really cool. Yeah, she's just a really cool lady. Yeah, but that's what I want to share with you. Thank you guys for tuning in. For all of you that shared with me that you want to be part of this, next time you've definitely got to be part of it, because we're here on the 49th floor in Atlanta, and the view is just absolutely spectacular.
I will have to, personally.
You think that's a joke, right? Keep me it's like, I go down the beach, and I look at the beautiful, where you grew up, I look at the beautiful beach where you grew up. It's like, this is great.
I asked, like, when I did my first practitioner course,